It is 2 o'clock in Pacific time. We are actually on the East Coast today. We are in North Carolina right now. So we're going to see if the comments work. If you are here with us, please put a little comment in there. Say hello, where you're from. We'd love to know where you're joining us from. We are currently in Charlotte, North Carolina. We did a little road trip today, so we are not at home. So we are in a very nice hotel, and you'll see some nice little things behind us. These are our 3 giveaway items. So if you didn't see what those were, we have some really cool Disney merch. So we have for our first prize that we're going to give away, I'm just going to show you everything. We have this very cool belt. Now I forget what these are called, but it's a pin trader belt, and it's really neat. You can put like they're like fanny packs, and they have a little strap in the back part, and you can attach these to them. But you can use this for many different reasons. You can also, it has like this little piece here, so you can clip, little pouches or whatever you're keeping on you. And I thought it was really neat. It's double-sided. It has Tinkerbell and the castle on one side, and then the castle and the Disney D on the other. So that's going to be our first prize. And then we also have this very cool little bag. It's a kind of a fanny pack, right? And it's cute. It's from the Disneyland park, so you'll see some of the California Adventure, rides there, and Disneyland. And of course the stitching on the back, so cute. By the way, great fish extender gift. Although I know you might want to keep this for yourself, but if somebody likes Mickey, this is a good one, or Minnie Mouse. Anyone who likes Disney is gonna love this, honestly. And then this one was a really fun find. This is a photo album. However, the reason I love this so much is because if you are participating in a recipe exchange, this would be a really great recipe album, wouldn't it? It has, I think, 50 pages and 2 slots on each side, so you can fit tons. I already had a good idea of putting a picture of it here and then putting the recipe card here. And I was saying you could print a bunch of recipe cards if you keep this for yourself and then hand them out if family's ever interested. But I thought it was a fun idea and it could be a good gift. It has a really beautiful spine here, Disneyland Resort. And then it has this really beautiful sort of like foil background. So I see we have a few people there. Oh, hi, Rhonda. So happy you're here again. Yay. And so, yeah, that's our third gift. And so hopefully you'll win that. We're going to do something similar to what we did last time. Last time we did the word. You'll have to remember the word. This time we're going to do a letter. And so I'm just going to, my little screen over here went dark. So let me get it back online so I can see it. Here we go. So we're going to do letters. So our first letter is O. So if you are here and let me make sure. Yeah, our first letter is O. And I might repeat that because we just got started for maybe in like 5 minutes or two more minutes.
We'll do the first question first.
Okay. All right. So what we were going to do today, we wanted to talk to our first timers. So we ran a poll earlier today, and we've only had about 107 people participate so far. But what I thought was very interesting is that 49% of those 107 said that this is their first time participating in an exchange. So we have a lot of first timers, a lot of people who have beginner questions, which are great. We did create a frequently asked questions guide. So if you are a first timer and you haven't seen that guide, check it out. It has all the answers to the questions that you are asking. We don't normally post those in the thread because our thread is more dedicated to gift ideas. But we're always happy to help you. So I will reach out to you directly. If you ask something like that, I'm going to help you out. Don't worry. But I also have that FAQ guide. And then the 17% in that poll said that it was their second time. So still, the majority of the people answering so far, it's a small sample size. We're a group of 13,000, so it's a small sample size. But I just thought it was interesting. And then 34% said they've done 3 or more exchanges. So we are definitely in that group. And so I just wanted to, give everybody a shout out. First timers, experienced sailors. I know Rhonda, you're here. You're an experienced sailor, so we know not sailor, sorry, sailor. And so we know that you're very familiar with all these things. And she was, anyone else here, Rhonda was our featured community member of the week because she is always helping answer questions. And so thank you, Rhonda, for being such an awesome member. We appreciate you. It is tough making sure that we can answer everybody, especially in the comments, because there's just so much engagement and activity there. And I love it. I love to see it. I'm glad that you guys are helping each other. But I will say that sometimes you get different opinions because that is the thing. That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. What is the fish exchange? So let's talk about what is a fish extender gift exchange. It is a fan-led gift exchange on a Disney cruise line. And so if you've been on a cruise before and you've seen the hanging pocket organizer, if you've not been on a cruise before and you're just wondering, a hanging pocket organizer is hung from the hook that's outside of your cabin door. And that hook is usually used by the Disney crew. They'll put things for you that maybe dry cleaning or whatever. And so a lot of sailors would hang their own little fish extender. They'd organize an exchange on Facebook by creating a Facebook group for the date and the ship name of their cruise. And then people going on that same cruise would find each other, and then they would set up a little Google sheet, have family sign up. You can choose, it's evolved over the years. So this was started 20 years ago. Back then it was just a very simple, I think it was just people making things for each other. I mean, Ira, you participated in one very early on, and what do you remember kind of what was being exchanged more back then?
I think it was like more handmade things, but
Yeah.
also those Google sheets or Excel sheets they still exist till this day.
Still the same. Yeah, really haven't made a lot of advancement in that area, which we have a member in our group who's working on that. I'm personally really excited to see what they do with that. And so when they're ready, if you're an organizer in this listening, let us know if you're interested in testing that out, because they're creating something that I think is going to make your job as an organizer a lot easier. I know whenever you hear like, oh, new technology, we're changing something. Nope, it means more complicated. It's already hard work. I agree with you. It's hard work and it is complicated, but it isn't going to be more complicated. I think this is going to make it a lot more simple. So I hope that comes to us soon, but we don't have a date on that yet. So we'll let you know more when we know more. But yeah, so just I think we've answered sort of what the exchange is. The next part of it is how does it work? So we have a video on our page that shows you this, but I just kind of want to show you where those things are. If you're new to our group, when you come into the group, you should see featured posts, reels, photos, events, files. So we have some things in the files, but if you go to featured posts, I'm just going to click that here. So you go to featured posts, you're going to see sort of, these change a little bit as we're doing things. Some of these I'm going to take down once they're over, but we have some things that we think that you will want to reference. Sorry, this thing is not mirrored, so I'm like, which way does this go? But here, so this welcome and group guidelines. In this post, we have some very helpful links. One of those things is a link to the FAQ, which is right down here. So you'll see a super helpful FAQ PDF. This PDF was made for you. I made it so that we could have one document to point everyone to that answers the most received questions about the fish extender. And so while this is loading, I'll just kind of tell you what it is. Usually we have questions like, how does it work? What's the difference between pixie dust and a fish extender? How do I sign up for one? All of those questions are answered in this FAQ. Sorry, I'm doing it again. I'm like, which way does that go? Here we go. Yeah, so what is a fish extender? What's the difference? Pixie dust, how do you sign up? All of that information is on here. This is a living document, so as I, get some suggestions on how to make it more clear, maybe my wording isn't as clear as it could be, you're always welcome as a seasoned sailor. Let me know. Tell me what you think I should do to make that better. I'm always open to, some feedback. So, yeah, if you have any questions, great. And then you're seeing, oh, okay, Gloria, that's great to know. We would love to have you. So I'll definitely let our friends know that. Okay, so I want to make sure I don't linger on too much because I don't want to keep you too long. So, one thing I wanted to answer too is who should participate in the fish extender? I have seen so many people disappointed in the exchange, and I'll tell you what, it's because it was created for a certain type of person. And that person has a love language of gift giving, not gift receiving, gift giving. If your love language is receiving gifts, you may not want to participate in this. And I'll tell you why. It's very difficult for anyone to police the people who are participating. You go in with the best intentions. You want to make sure as an organizer, you're encouraging everybody to participate. But these are people coming from all over the world. They are joining your cruise from many different states, many different countries, just different locations. It's really difficult to know that these people will follow through. So the reason why it started in the first place is that this was crafters basically just wanting to create some joy, create some things, use their talents, and they wanted to share that with other people who shared that with them. And so I think that over the years, there's been a little bit of confusion as to what the exchange is all about. And the exchange is actually more about giving than it is about receiving. So I just want to kind of give you a gentle, like little, hey, if you are more excited about the receiving part, you may be disappointed. Participating in an exchange takes a little bit of a financial investment. It takes time because you are making and choosing these gifts for people, and it takes luggage space. So you know that that's what you're signing up for. You're going to have to spend a little bit on these people who are participating with you, and that dollar amount depends on the organizer. So remember, that is one of the most asked questions. So I'm going to kind of go through that, but before we do that, I'm just going to remind everyone the first letter was O. Okay. All right, so what's the difference between the FE versus Pixie Dust? So the Fish Extender Gift Exchange is a formal exchange that is organized. So that means that you're joining the Facebook group. Pixie Dusters don't even need to do that, but you are joining that Facebook group. Then the organizer who's going to volunteer their time to organize it, they are going to set the rules. So some people have different styles. I don't want to say one style is better than the other because it just depends on the person. It's all relative, right? So you want to make sure that you are checking with your organizer. So anytime we get a question saying, should I spend, is it $25 per person or per cabin? We really can't answer that because the organizer needs to tell you. And if the organizer tells you there is no suggestion, that is the answer. That means that you can spend, whatever you would want to receive. That's kind of the best advice, right? The best advice I've ever heard was give the experience that you want to receive. And for that gave me a guide. I mean, I can go way overboard. So then the second guide is give what I can fit in my suitcase. So there's that too. But it also can help like guide your gift buying too, is making sure that things you purchase are packable. So the main difference is that a Fish Extender Exchange is organized. That means that if you were assigned to, let's keep it simple. Let's say that you were assigned to a group of 5 cabins total. Okay, 5 cabins. That means most organizers are going to organize you based on the room size. So if there's 2 people in your room, it's highly likely they're going to try to choose 4 other cabins with you that have somewhere around 3 to 2 people in them. That just kind of keeps things a little more fair, but that isn't always the case. So know that some organizers do a little more cabins, and it can make it a little more expensive depending. And just keep in mind, this is all voluntary. You do not, if you don't like the way it's being run, you do not need to participate in it. You can just pixie dust on that one. Or, if you have the time and the talent, you can always organize your own as well. So there's that. But that's basically how the exchange works. So if you have 4 other cabins, and let's say that the organizer says you're going to do 1 group per cabin and the dollar amount is, let's say, $30. So that means that you have 4 cabins that you need to spend $30 each on. Okay, so that means $120 is probably going to be what you're spending. Personally, that's really low in my opinion, but it's not, I'm telling you, there are people with different budgets, you know, different, they may be, it's difficult to pack lots of items. So there's no, I feel like there's no bad exchange, right?
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties,
Oh.
so I just want to see if we can change the connection to hotspot.
Oh, is it not on hotspot? I think it is. Is anyone in the comments? Okay, I see some people responding, so it might just be us.
They're saying that it's like look at our video.
Yeah, but I think that might be because you're connected to ours.
It said that they're saying that they are having a hard time with us.
Oh,
I thought it was
okay.
just me.
No, okay, we're gonna work this out. Let me see if I have a better connection here. Where is this? Let's see. I'm on the right one.
Maybe be on this one because I could see.
Oh, we can, but we can't.
No.
Connected. Okay. How's that? Let's see. Are we back in here? Let's see. Oops. Oh, it's because I'm trying to use that. All right, let's see. Check your internet connection. Okay. Let me try. Maybe it's not connected because it needs to, you know how you have to sign in with the page. Let's see. Do you remember what that was? Sorry, everyone. If you were here, we're trying to fix this. Just a moment. It says I'm on it.
Yeah, I think this is from the delay of the previous. I think we should be okay now.
Oh, okay. So do we hear any? Okay, if you can hear us now, just send me a message.
I think they're behind.
Okay. It's okay. 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 Sorry about that. Okay, so hopefully this works for us. All right, so let me just go back to this really quick. Where were we? So we were just talking about the main differences between the exchange and pixie dusting. And so just let me wrap that up because I was just trying to explain how that works. So the bottom line is that the exchange is organized. Pixie dusting is not organized. That is just people who want to give gifts. The gifts, when people ask, is this okay for pixie dust? The answer is always yes, as long as it's appropriate, as long as it's allowed on a Disney cruise. You know, like candles, for example, not allowed on a Disney cruise. So you don't want to bring it because it'll most likely get claimed when you go through the check-in process. And it can also, that can happen if it's spotted on board as well. So just make sure that it's something allowed. And that's all there is to it. It can be a sticker, it can be a mint, honestly, it can be a Loungefly backpack. I mean, honestly, it's whatever you want to pixie dust. People do magnets, people do little seasick kits. And those are fantastic. I always am happy when I get one because I personally get a little nauseous on board too. So anyway, but that's the bottom line is pixie dusting. There are no rules. You honestly don't need a pixie dust list. The purpose of a pixie dust list is to know who is actually passing out pixie dust. And that's because for others who are also doing it, they like to kind of give you a little love back. The problem is that pixie dust lists sometimes become, I want to sign up for gifts and not give anything. And so that's personally why I don't like using a pixie dust list because I don't know that everybody there is doing that. And so I just kind of tend to have a, what is it called? Like a tag back. So if someone pixie dusts me, I have a little like, you know, bag full of little pixie dust to get them back. So that's a good way to do it if you really want to do it the way that used to be done. I mean, there's not, if you want to use the pixie dust list, use the pixie dust list. Honestly, this is just me saying it, so take it with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's really what that pixie dust list was for, was just to kind of have an idea of how many people are doing it. And that way, if you want to give that back and you truly just, you do not have an expectation of receiving anything in return, then the pixie dust list is helpful because you kind of know, okay, there's like, you know, 50 people participating in that, then I know I can bring 50 of this little item that I want to give. But again, don't have to do that. You can bring however much of what you want to give as you want. There are people who give, you want to say something?
Um, well, you can, what I like to do is I like to bring some of the things that I've accumulated over the years that I've gotten at really great deals. And then if I see like, if I have a Spider-Man thing and I see a kid's fish extender picture is Spider-Man, then I feel like that's a great person to gift this Spider-Man to because they most likely like that character.
Right. And like Rhonda's saying, pixie dust lists can be hundreds of people. So if you truly want to try and hit everybody, you can do that. But again, you don't have to. A pixie dusting is something that's being done out of the goodness of your heart. So you can bring 5 things, you could bring 100 things. There is no rule, there's no right or wrong. Pixie dusting is something from the heart. So that's what that is. And then I'm just kind of laughing at the no Red Bull. You guys are so silly. Don't get hung up on the Red Bull. She's her idea was actually a really good one, which was to be playful with the words and to pun. And I love that. I love when people are creative with puns on gifts. So the Red Bull, don't worry about it. It could be anything else, and I would suggest anything else. So there you go. All right, so the next question I wanted to answer is, do I buy one gift for the cabin or individual gifts? Kind of already answered that. Ask your organizer first. After that, it becomes up to you. We ran a poll very recently, and we asked people, do you prefer to get one gift or do you like getting things all throughout the trip? I was surprised that most people said they like getting one gift at the beginning. So if you want to do what most people in our group answered, again, that was a small group of people who participated, so it does not actually speak for everybody, but that's one way you can do it. Or there's some, I know, Rhonda, you're on the same page with me. I like doing it throughout the cruise. I also like to plan it based on sort of the days. So if you're on a longer cruise, you can do like a few small gifts every day, maybe theme it to if it's an excursion day or an at sea day, like an at sea day, I might do like a spa kit because then they can use it in the spa and just relax by the pool. Or if it's like when there's a show, maybe do like a movie theater pack or something like that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I like doing them throughout the cruise. But that's just me. Again, you can do one gift for the cabin. That's fine too. So that's the answer to that question. The next is, how much do you spend per person or per cabin? So start with your organizer. Whatever they say is what goes. Their suggestion is the right suggestion. Outside of that, if they don't give you a suggestion, I always say it's somewhere between 20 and 25 per person is the average. That does not make it the rule. You can also see if anybody wants to do a luxury exchange. I know that there are some people who spend a lot more. Some members in our group have mentioned upwards of $100 per person. Again, that is not popular. That is not often done. But if that's your thing, go for it. See if you can find some people that are willing to do that. Just remember that you need to find people who are willing to do that because you want to make sure that it fits within their means. They have the ability to bring that many things or, whatever. So that's why I say the dollar amount is really determined by the organizer. And there are plenty of people who do $10 per person, and that's okay too. I just think that there are some who are participating as they've been on the cruise a number of times. They love participating in the exchange. And so maybe your thought process when you're gifting can be, if they say that it's their first time, then definitely do some of those first timer gifts, the keychains, the things that other people are saying people do too much. It's because they go on the cruises a lot. They've participated in this a lot of times. Other people have never received those things before. So just remember that some of those gifts are fantastic. I loved those gifts when I got it the first time, but I can definitely understand the other side of that. So just, think about the people that you're gifting. Use the details that they give you. That's the best way you can give great gifts. The next question, what's the next question, Ira? How often? We talked about that, right?
Has there been a lot of talk about theft? Should we be concerned about it?
Yeah, okay, so this is a valid conversation. The reason why we don't allow it in the thread is because sometimes it can get a little out of hand. You're also getting opinions only from a small group of people. It's not reflective of the entire experience for everybody. So I don't really feel like it's a good platform for that conversation for that reason. It's discouraging to first timers. And I gotta say, there are a lot of people who have not experienced that at all. That is not to say be dismissive of those who have experienced it. It does happen. And so many of our organizers, if you're not already part of our organizer chat, and you are organizing these exchanges, please join us because we are more powerful together. We can kind of get our heads together, figure out the best way to address it. We've already had some really great ideas in that chat, which was one of them was to hang a little laminated sign over your extender that has kind of a fun little saying, but it's clear, saying that kind of like hands off of these. we're participating in a private exchange. These gifts are for this cabin, kind of thing. And there's a reason that there's been some confusion. There's honest mistakes, and then there's just straight up pirates on the ship. So honest mistakes is because some have used the extenders to pass out gifts. So you may see some people that have lollipops that say free take one. Okay, that can be confusing to people who don't know what a fish extender is, because they may think that the other one is also a take one type of deal. And I've been hearing from people that that's often what it is. And so having that little sign might be a great way to educate those who don't know any better. But also use request from your organizer, if they're not already doing it, that they help set up sort of predetermined drop-off times or meetups if they can do it. Some people can, some people can't. They're real packed with what they're doing on their cruise. But if you say, hey, I'm going to drop off my gifts on the second day around 8 a.m. That means that before they head to breakfast, they're going to check their pockets, they're going to put it inside their cabin, and they don't have to worry about people coming in and out to their rooms. So I always say morning's better, because you have people who are heading out as opposed to heading conveniently back into their room where they can take something and hide it. So that's why I disagree with people who say do it after a show, do it after a movie. I would not do it after dinner, because that's just leaving it out there for other people. So I really think the morning's better. But ultimately, I think a great idea is to organize it in advance, so you know when those gifts are coming to you. So that's kind of our answer to that question is, does it happen? Yes. Is it a reason not to participate? No. There are many things that we can do to protect our, hard work from being lifted. And a lot of that is just communication. So communicate with your cabin mates, communicate with your organizer, and figure out something that works for all of you. So that's the answer to that question. What's next?
If I'm in a family group, do I gift the adults as well?
Yeah, you're part of the family. The only time you don't gift the adults is if it says kids only. So that's it. Yeah, Gloria, creating a WeChat, by the way, is great so that you can communicate with other participants. Some people use WhatsApp. So absolutely. And thank you for being willing to help with those PDFs. That's really sweet. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, so that was the answer. Did I answer that one? Okay.
How do I find my cruise group, and what do I do if it's not there?
Okay, so to find your cruise group, you are going to go, I'll show you. You're just going to go on Facebook. So very similar to how you found us, you're going to click on the search feature. Now this is my what is it? My personal account, but my work account. So you're going to hit that little magnifying glass, and then you're going to type in the name of your ship. So let's say it's the Wish. I'm just going to say Wish. And then you're going to put the date of your sailing. So I'm just going to say, let's say January. I'm just going to put 2026 because I don't know what they are right now. And then search. And then so you're going to see a whole bunch of groups pop up. You see that? Let me make sure. Disney Wish 2021. Okay, so you see this one? That is an actual cruise. Wish January 9 through 12, 2026. So if that was your sailing, you just click join. And then they may have questions for you to answer. Sometimes it's just like, did you already book your cruise? Can you confirm that this is your cruise group? That can happen very easily. Sometimes you might see 2026 and it was 2025. So, just making sure that you're getting the right group. Once they accept you, then just check the top. Like I said, at the top of our group, we have files, we have pinned posts. It's going to be in the pinned featured posts. That's where you're going to find information on the fish extender. If you don't see it there, you can always send a message or put in a post just asking, hey, when is it going to be set up? Do you guys need volunteers? Things like that. The main group is just a group for everybody going on the cruise with you. They're not even all necessarily participating in the exchange. So you want to join that group first, because that is where your volunteer is going to come from, and that's where you can ask the best questions. So once they post how to join, it's normally like an Excel spreadsheet. So you're going to put your cabin number, or GTY, I think, if you don't have one yet, and you can update it later. And then your family name, and then make sure you take the time to put in your favorite character, any allergies you might have, your favorite colors, like just put as much information. It may even say favorite character. Put more information in there. Do your gifter a favor and hook them up with what you like, because that's going to make the experience better for you too, and for the other cabin mates, because they'll kind of have a better idea of what to give. So that's a really great idea. Oh yeah, that's great. Rhonda, what a clever idea for them to do. Yeah, yeah, and exactly. Who said don't forget the adults are doing the heavy lifting? Exactly. So yeah, absolutely. I know when we got that question, I was like, what do you mean? Of course you're going to participate. All right, what's the next question?
What do they do if it's not there?
Oh, what do they do if okay. So if the group is not there, just check back. Unless you want to create the group, you can absolutely create the group. You're going to have more people join it. But if you don't know how to run a Facebook group, I wouldn't try, because it is complicated. If you've never done it before, someone else will do it. And so just keep checking back. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back.
Next is the question.
All right. So we're going to go to the question. All right. Question number 1. Is this gift appropriate for pixie dusting? What's the answer to that? Is this gift appropriate for pixie dusting? Remember, what you see as an answer first is not what we see. So we're going to go by what we see. Is this gift appropriate for a fish extender gift? We're a little delayed too, so we're just waiting for someone to respond. Rhonda, Rhonda, you're the first one we saw, so congratulations. I hope you've got a good pin set, because this is yours. Okay, perfect. All right, congratulations, Rhonda. That's yours. I'm gonna put this over here so I don't forget. That's going to her. I'm gonna write it down too. Okay. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. All right. Okay, perfect. Congrats. That's gonna be fun. I hope you like it. And then how do you use our group? Okay, so how do you use our group, the group we made? The group that we made was always for crafters and for sailors that are participating in the exchange. We did not create this group for sellers, but we are one of the very few that allow them to participate in our group, because I see the value in them helping people who are not crafty, may not have the time, may not have the talent, may not have the tools. Whatever the reason is, they want to give something personalized to something that's Disney related. And that's why I really love that we have sellers in the group. Now, we have compromised with the others in our group that don't want to be sold to by having 2 designated seller days. So the main purpose of our group, though, is for you to ask for help. If you're stuck, if you have, somebody in your group that didn't give a lot of ideas, and maybe you just want to see what other people are doing, you can ask those questions. I don't care how many times people ask it. There's always going to be someone in here with a different idea. So give them your ideas if you have an idea. And share what you're making. That's the other purpose. That is inspiration. I want to see what you're making. A lot of people, you're going to come in here and say, is this enough? Okay, that question, you got to take the answers with a grain of salt, right? Because the people in the group are not who you're gifting. So someone in the group might be like, I don't like that. I would never use it. It doesn't matter if they don't like it. They're not the one receiving it. So as long as you don't have everybody saying, no, don't do that, that's probably more of a, okay, maybe I should think about something else. But, that's why I kind of don't police those too much, because I feel like as long as everybody's being kind to each other, listen, if you don't like the idea, that's okay. You don't have to like the idea, but be kind about how you say you don't like it, because these people want encouragement. And even if the answer is probably wouldn't do that, why don't you think about this? That's probably a better way to say it. Just be a little more gentle, be a little helpful. That's what we're here for, to help each other. So that's
Second
really
letter.
the purpose. Okay, so the second letter, B. Okay, if you got the second letter, B. Okay, don't forget B. All right. One thing I want to make sure is that you remember that we have files in the group. So when you go to the group at the very top, remember you've got featured, you have files, you have media. That's another great place to go if you like the visuals. go look at the media files, because that's anytime someone shares something, whether it's a seller or a crafter, or someone sharing what they received, you're going to see all of those photos in that album. And I feel like that's a really easy way to have some inspiration and see what people are giving and making. Now let me see. I see that we have a question. Let me see. Just want info on how they make. Okay, so is it possible to have sellers answer questions if we crafters want info on how they make the products that they sell? I love trying new crafts, but I know that if it doesn't come out beautiful, I'll purchase from the experts. I see. Okay. So yes, now I will say not all sellers want to kind of give away their secret sauce, and I don't blame them for that. But I absolutely encourage, if you are willing to share how you do those things, I'm on the same page with you, because it's the people who are willing to make the thing you're making aren't your customers anyway. So you want to help the people who are not able to make those things, or they want it to be the quality that you're providing. So yes, if you are willing to help the crafters know how to make those things, 100% share that, please. I've had people share, like someone shared, we have a very good seller, the Roman Wanderlust. Okay, he's also an admin for us, so no favoritism. He's just the first person that came to mind. But he makes little Titanic ships, right? They're very cute. They're little Lego sets. I did a video you can see in the unboxing. I love them. But someone else also shared a little printable guide, and it has all the parts, and you could then go make those as little gifts for the people in your exchange. So that's where I see it. Absolutely. If you're a crafter, go do it. Like, absolutely. And you want to share materials like that, send them to me. I'll put them in the files for you. Because again, I think that the people who are going to make it aren't your customers anyway. So that would be beautiful for our group. I love the sharing aspect. All right, what's next? We've got, so we wanted to talk, okay, so I talked about all the files at the top. We have chat groups. Now, remember, the community chat groups have been deleted, and that's because they are going away, and they've now told me October 5th that we won't even have an option to have it at all, which fine, we already moved. So we have 4 groups. We have the Crafters Corner, we have Sellers Corner, we have the Organizers Lounge, and we have the Travel Agent Crew. So if you are a crafter and you're looking for ideas, maybe you have questions about issues you're having with your Cricut, or, we have a lot of people who are crafters in that group that can help you. We also share with each other. There's some people in there who will help us make graphics for you. But again, that's for a crafter. So don't join it if you are participating and you're not a crafter. It is specifically for crafters. Sellers. The Sellers Corner is for you. That's where we can announce any changes in our group, ask questions of you to help make things better. We're always trying to find ways to support. You have a question? Oh, okay. Yeah. And then the Organizers Lounge. So this one I think is like awesome, because this is where we can run ideas past each other, share our experience, especially if somebody's new and they want to do an organizer exchange and they need a little help. Absolutely join that group. Again, it's only for organizers, so if you're not organizing, you probably don't want to join that group. It's just going to be a lot of notifications and it'll be annoying. So join the group if you're an organizer and you're willing to have sort of like a brain session with the others. This is where we're solving the piracy issue. So, join that group. And then the Travel Agent Crew, I am not sure what the purpose will be there yet, but I want to be able to have a place where you guys can share ideas as well. We do have travel agents in our group. We don't currently allow them to advertise. And the main reason is because, well, first of all, I'm going to be telling you about this, but Irida is a travel agent. So a little bit of it is that we kind of don't want to have to be competing with each other, but I still welcome you if you're a travel agent, because I've been told that travel agents like the ideas because they're always making things for their clients as well, or suggesting, and I love that idea. So I like sharing things, so that's why it is there. So you're welcome to do that. All right, 3rd letter, C. Just put it somewhere. Just remember C, okay? That's the 3rd letter. All right, so what I wanted to, and that's a good segue about the travel agents because what I really want you to know, our group is all about helping out our sailors, right? Giving you all the good information, the good details. So one thing that I wanted to make sure you knew, did you know that if you book directly with Disney, you are leaving money on the table? All people who book, no matter who it is, Disney included, gets commission when they book these. So the price is the same everywhere, but Disney keeps the commission. Travel agents can pass it along to you. Some of it, obviously. Some of it they're going to keep because they're planning for you, so they're working. But you can get onboard credit when you book with a travel agent. So I just want to make sure you know that because that kind of blew my mind the first time I realized it. I can't tell you how much money I lost or just like didn't get back because I didn't book with the travel agent. And Irida is actually the one who told me about this. So I want to tell you a little bit about Irida. Irida's been all over the world. How many countries have you been to?
Over 40.
Over 40 countries. And how many states have you been to in the United States?
All 50.
All 50. Okay. She has her main day. We both have day jobs. Her day job requires her to travel to numerous countries, and surprise, she's a teacher of sorts. So we'll keep that private, but that is what she does. She is a travel extraordinaire. She's super experienced. I have benefited from her travel planning, and so what we wanted to tell you about is how you can do that. And the first question that I had for you, Irida, is what's the biggest challenge to planning if it's not your strength?
I think if you're not used to planning, it can be really overwhelming. I've talked to many people trying to plan trips and they get stuck on the research of like finding how much it's going to cost and like hotels, transportation, especially if it's a foreign language, like a country that has a foreign language, then they're like, how do I get around without knowing how to speak that language? And before they start, they're already like, I give up. So I think if you're not a planner, that can be really hard.
Yeah, and it distracts from like being able to do the extra magic part, like the parts that you can't do because you're too bogged down with the basics. That's one thing I wanted to share too is Iron has been on like there are people in here who have been on more cruises than probably both Iron and I combined. But what I like about Ira's experience is the what's the word? The variety. What are the different types that you've been on?
So I went on for cruises. It was the one in Alaska, which is probably my favorite cruise. I've done a couple of them in Mexico, a couple of them from Florida, and then the Europe one with Chris.
Yeah, the Europe one was so much fun, but definitely that one was the hardest to plan. And it's because we had a really big group. And so that was one thing that I learned from Irida, and I wonder if I'm gonna save that for one of your questions. But okay, so here's the next big question. Does it cost more to book with a travel agent?
It does not cost any more. If there is, then I don't know. You could find someone that is a travel agent that doesn't charge you anymore. That should be the standard.
Yeah, it should be the standard. Because then I'm just gonna go on the website and see that it's less. So why would you do that? But yeah, encourage you to check that before you book. But yeah, so I thought that was really helpful to know. And then what are the benefits of booking with a travel agent?
I think what's really helpful is you'll get a personalized experience. So that we can talk together or you talk to any of your travel agents and they can kind of see what you like, what you enjoy, because there's a lot to do on the cruise. And sometimes if it's a 3-day cruise, it might not give you enough time to do every single thing, but it could give you enough time to do the things that really appeal to you. So if you are traveling with like a big group of people, I would suggest getting a private room at the Palo instead of like eating with everybody else. We got to do that when we went on a trip with our 12 friends, and it was so intimate and like so much fun. And I think not everybody knows that sort of thing is available, but a travel agent would be able to guide you there.
And when we did that, was the waiter was like designated to that room, weren't they?
Yeah.
We didn't have to share the waiter, which I thought that was so cool to have exclusive attention to your table. It made it so much fun. And just being in a private area where it didn't matter how loud you were, like nobody was being distracted by your group. I loved that. And that's kind of the thing I took away from it when we were kind of talking about like what do we want to share is like why is it so important? And I think it comes down to you don't know what you don't know. And when you have somebody who does know a lot of what you initially don't know, it gives you such a benefit because you're a travel agent, whether it's Irida or someone else, maybe you already have one. That's fantastic. As long as you have one, okay? That's
Yes.
what we're getting here.
I think that's like the main message is like we started this page and like want all of you guys to take advantage of all the benefits that you can with the hard-earned money that you're using to pay for this trip and that PTO that you're using to spend on this trip. Like we want it to be the most you can get out of it.
Yeah, so Rhonda has a question, or Charity as well. If it costs more, the TA is charging it. Yes, absolutely. If it costs more, the travel agent's charging more. And Rhonda's saying, how do they make any money if they pass along onboard credit? You don't understand. So answer the question. That's
Okay,
great.
so so agents get commission from Disney. And so it just depends on like how long the stay is, what kind of room you're getting and all that. But let's say they get $200 from commission off your trip. And then let's say they give half of it to you. So they make 100, you make 100. And they'll just use that as onboard credit.
Yeah. And I think usually in that kind, it's usually closer to like $25, a smaller amount like that. And when you have like longer cruises, they can be much more generous because they're being generous in the first place by giving you onboard credit. There are a lot of travel agents. That's one of the things we want to say is don't expect it from a travel agent. They don't all give you onboard credit.
And not every travel agent will give you, not every travel agent will give you onboard credit. So I don't want to set the expectation that all of them do, but you can find agents, including myself, that will give you onboard credit. I will help pass along some of those savings or that commission to you.
Yeah, and I'm 100% biased here because obviously, one, she's my sister-in-law. I'm gonna be straight up transparent with you. I am transparent about that. But also, I personally will not recommend someone, even our sellers, if I don't trust them. I don't think I haven't experienced it myself. That's why you see on even our Faggy seller list that people are pending. It's because they have to send me something. I have to see that what I see on their site is what I'm going to get in person, that it doesn't get chewed up in UPS. I mean, that's not entirely their fault, but it is if it's not packaged well. And so these are things I care about. It doesn't matter that she's my sister-in-law. If I did not think she was very good at what she did, I would not recommend her. But Irida is very good at what she does. Her talent is being able to find ways to make things special, like just really uniquely special. She's very creative like that. So that's why I was excited to tell you about it. One is I just want to make sure that no matter who you use, don't book directly with Disney. Just make sure that you get something back from it. Even if you do Costco, like even Costco will give you money. Did you know that? Costco will give you
they'll give you the gift card.
Yeah, gift card. So like just get something back, you know? And if you need a travel agent, I guarantee you she's going to blow your mind. So
also what's great about travel agents is a lot of them will help you like at midnight because there are days where at midnight you can go and sign on to schedule your time to check in.
Yeah, that's one of the advantages that we left out is that so part of what Irida does is you tell her in advance, she's going to ask you questions. She's going to have like a little questionnaire for you and basically learn what do you want? What would make this an amazing experience for you? And she's going to make it happen. So if she knows that you want this very special excursion, travel agents get a little earlier window than you will. And so the travel agents can actually book, right? That's what you were telling me a little bit.
A little bit. It just depends on some of those things, but they can at least inform you of what excursions are like popular, or if they've gone on any themselves at the different ports, and just kind of like tailor it to you because you know everybody's experience and likes are different, and so I mean I think that's the goal is to like maximize the things that you and your family enjoy.
Yeah. Do you get any open windows that are earlier? Is it like dinner bookings or like the special restaurant?
They can also help you with that. Like I could switch the first booking to the first dinner to the second dinner, things like that, or at least try to help you get that switched as much as possible and advocate for you.
Yeah, and that was one of the other things I was going to ask, and it just like really went out of my mind because I was like, oh my God, we got to give away these gifts. But one thing, if it comes back to me, I'm going to ask you. But the next question was, so how do you take advantage of it? How do you get a travel agent?
Okay, so obviously you can contact me. My name is Ira Vera on
She's
here.
an admin on
You
our
can find me
page.
on here.
You can also message me if it's easier to message the page, you can do that too, because Ira's an admin. We have a little admin group. I can easily just put her in the conversation with us, and she can help you do that.
So another cool thing is, hopefully you know that if you're on a cruise, you could put a deposit in. I think now it's $250, and you can get a 10% discount on your next cruise. So you can do that, and then within 30 days of doing that, you can transfer it over to your travel agent so that when they book your next cruise for you, you can get the 10% off that cruise plus the onboard credit if they're offering you onboard
That's
credit.
awesome. So that's a question I wanted to ask you is, what if you already booked your cruise?
If you already booked your cruise in the last 30 days and you haven't paid it in full, you can also transfer that reservation without switching the reservation number or anything to your travel agent, and they can still offer you that onboard credit. So it's like not too late.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Rhonda, I can't believe that. She said she's never used a TA in for 20
Well,
years.
I don't want to. I first went on a cruise like in 2008. I didn't know. I thought maybe travel agents would charge you more, or like I didn't know how it worked. And then over time, obviously, I've learned.
Yeah, yeah. So that I really hope that you can take something away from today. If it's not a prize, at least take away that this group is here to help you. This group is made for everybody really, and we'll find other ways to help our TAs that are doing this too. But for now, we do have a giveaway to do. We're going to do 2 in a row here. So the question is, tell us, who do you need to contact to get onboard credit? Rhonda, you already won, so give someone else a chance, okay? Who can you contact to get onboard credit? This has to be delayed. Who can you contact to get onboard credit? See, Melissa Savage, yes, your travel agent. Irida, or your travel agent. Yes, that is right. Okay, so Melissa, I don't think I have your information. So Melissa, if you'll reach out to me directly, let me know where I can send it. But you have won our Disney bag. So cute. So this is yours. Congratulations. And the next one. You're so funny. Yes. And the next question. What were the 3 letters today? Tell me what the 3 letters were today.
Bonus sticker star if you know what those 3 letters stand for.
Yeah. What were the 3 letters today? I feel like we should send one there. All right, tell me what those 3. Gloria, you got it. OBC. Can you tell us what OBC stands for? What do you think it stands for? Oh, on. Does everybody know what that stands for? I'm gonna put Gloria's name down.
Yay!
You got it.
Credit.
Good job.
Get yourself some
Let's get yourself some.
on your next Disney cruise.
That's awesome. All right, let me put Gloria's name. Gloria. Okay, and that's Hidalgo. And I know Gloria. She's in our organizer.
And Gloria asked if I could give some pointers for Alaska. I'm looking for Alaska
yeah.
2027.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're going to love it. I would do some excursions there. That's so beautiful. I did one where we went hiking for a little bit. It wasn't like a big hike or anything. And they fed us like blueberry pancakes with some steak and eggs. It was so good. Also, try to see which side of the boat they're going to position in first for the glacier, because a lot of people go up to the very top deck and it's crowded, especially for people that have inside rooms. Then they can't see it from their room. So maybe check that and so know where to be when that happens.
Did you do that?
I didn't get to do the dog sledding.
Oh,
We were
they do it there.
we had it scheduled, but the weather condition didn't allow us for that.
Yeah, I feel like Alaska is one of the ones where the you know, Disney always does like a vetted check of all of their excursions, and I feel like Alaska has some of the best excursion offerings. I mean, we did like some did we did a couple from the Mediterranean
Mhm.
cruise, and they were good, but some of them ended with some hard selling, and it was kind of awkward.
What's cool about an excursion you book from Disney is that if their bus is late getting back to the cruise, they're not going to leave without
The
you.
boat waits for you. That's why you do it. Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, we had the traffic over there, like, oh my gosh, Rome and Italy had terrible traffic. And we were just like so relieved knowing that it didn't matter. We were going to get back on that boat because I do not want to be on YouTube getting, trying to rent the boat, you know? Okay, before we leave, does anybody have any questions for us? We would love to use the last few minutes to answer those. I know we've got a little bit of a delay here, but I want to try to answer those. And then as I'm waiting for any to come in, just know that this is recorded. It will be available on our page. If you have a group, let's see, you did get left? No, Rhonda says she was 33, one of 33 people that got left. And Rhonda, you were on a Disney booked excursion? When was that? That's the first I've heard of that.
Oh, I know. That
You've
is
never
the
heard
first
that,
I've heard of
have you?
that. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. That is upsetting to know. But I'm gonna look into that to make sure that they don't do that now, because I'm curious when that happens to
We'll
you.
double check that.
Yeah, we'll make sure. So anybody watching this, like, let's put a little asterisk. We'll get back to you. But
Pixie
yeah.
dusting.
Oh, pixie dusting and fish extenders for newies. Okay, yeah. So the newcomers had the same questions, really. They're kind of just asking, what's the fish extender exchange? How do I sign up? What's the dollar per person or per cabin? You know, that's kind of like the bigger questions, which we answered at the beginning. So this recording will include the answers to that. You are welcome to share this recording in your group. If you have a group you're organizing, share this video there. Oh, okay, we'll look at that. Yeah, and but the main thing, the main difference between a fish extender and a pixie dusting is that the fish extender you need to sign up for, or you will not be participating. If you can sign up for it, then the organizer will group you into a cabin. There are some cases where they just have a sign up sheet and you kind of choose the group that you're going to be in. So there's a few different ways that it's done. But overall, the whole thing is that you are signing up and being assigned to a group of cabins. These groups can be between 4 to like 8, although I think 8 is way too many, but usually somewhere between 4 and 8 cabins. I want to say like 4 to 6 is usually more likely. And then you are purchasing gifts for everybody in those other rooms. That doesn't mean that, let's say it's me and Irida in a room, and it doesn't mean that me and Irida are purchasing gifts for every single person in that room. It means that one gift is coming from our cabin to each person in your room. So unless you're signed up for a one cabin gift group, that's where the organizer is telling you it's one gift per cabin. That's different. So that's why I say the answer to that question is with your organizer. Ask the organizer. If they have no direction, if they're saying it's up to you, then that's where you get to decide. If you're going to do one cabin gift for each cabin that you're assigned to, so say you've got a group of 5, that means you're going to buy 4 of the same, not the same thing, sorry, but 4 gifts for each cabin. Not 4 gifts for each cabin, one gift for 4 cabins. Or what's more popular, I think, is doing it per person, because why are we putting in our favorite characters if we're not getting each person their own gift? This is my question. So yeah, I highly suggest that you do per person. That way you can personalize for them, and many people are doing the same for you. Now, again, remember what I said at the beginning of this. If you get more joy in receiving than you get in giving, fish extender exchange is probably not for you. So just because you may be disappointed, and we don't want that for anybody. The fish extender exchange is for people to enjoy I mean, just feel the joy of giving. We are those people. Like, I love making something specifically for you, something that I thought about. You left me your favorite character, your favorite colors, your favorite candies, whatever. I'm going to take that information and make something so special for you that I had fun making. You may not like it. Maybe you don't like mirrors. That's like one of the things I do, by the way. But the point is that you receive, I remember I received a frame. Somebody hand painted a frame that I could put my own picture in to look like Marie. I personally, it wasn't my taste, but I loved so much the idea that this person thought about me and handcrafted it for me that I tried to display it for a little bit because I was just like, that is the sweetest thing ever. It brought me joy to see it. And I think that that's like what I encourage you to take is like go into it with the right attitude. Know that these people are spending time on you. So even if it's just not your style, there's no way for them to really know that. So as long as you're doing your best effort, as long as everybody's putting their best effort into it, you're gonna enjoy the exchange.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Sorry.
Also, follow up on the question or booking a Disney cruise. So I checked from 2023. It says if you book out with Disney for the excursion and you're running late for whatever reason, Disney will either wait until you arrive or provide complimentary transportation to get you to your next call. So there's always a risk of missing the boat when you book any excursion because you never know what can happen. But usually people will book with Disney. The same excursion you can book separately for maybe a cheaper price. But with Disney,
It's kind of
it's a
insured
lower
almost.
risk
Yeah.
of having to pay for that loss.
Yeah.
Like trying to find your own transportation to the next port of call.
Right. Yeah. So that's good to know. Thank you for looking that up. Yeah. So that's the answer, Gloria. They will take care of you. It's just that they'll send you to the next port.
So if you book without Disney, then if you somehow miss the boat, then you got to figure out yourself.
Yeah. So I would have a plan for that, by the way. If you're going to plan in advance, even if I don't know, were to like book an excursion for you that's not with Disney, which is probably unlikely, but if she did, I think that part of the planning is to make sure what's the backup plan. What happens if you don't get back on time, because I guarantee you're going to get an international call. I don't know what do we do. I see the boat, they're waving to me. I can't swim. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah, and a lot of excursions, they also have Adventures by Disney that have packages for you as well. And I got to do an Adventures by Disney to Germany for my honeymoon like over a decade ago. And it was so much fun. So I also suggest if you have the means to do that is worth it.
Yeah. All right. Well, it is now 3:03. We know you've got plans tonight. I don't want to keep you too long, but thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate all of you. We love sharing our joy of the Fish Extender with you. I've got 3 cruises booked. You've got 3 cruises booked. Surprise, they're all together. So we're going in December. We're going on a maritime cruise, which for us is the first time. Neither of us have done a maritime cruise, so that's I have so many ideas. We've already bought everybody's stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun exchange. And then we're doing the new ships next year, right? We're doing the Adventure in September, I think, all the way in September. It's a long way away. But then
April.
that one's in April. That's right. The Destiny is in September. That's right. April is our Singapore. Yeah, Singapore. Yeah. So we'll let you know how that goes. And if you have any questions, let us know. We're going to spend some time getting some footage, getting some details for you so that we can try and help you out. We have some ideas with things we'd like to add to the files of our group. By the way, one thing I want to share with you before we go. If you are participating in a Fish Extender exchange, did you know that you could go to the website and kind of screenshot the boat and make a little map so that you can highlight the rooms that you're delivering your gifts to? That's a genius idea, no?
Yeah, it's a great way to plan your route efficiently.
Yeah, so I'm working on trying to create some maps. It's going to take some time though, so but I would love to be able to have a map of the boat. It's just there's so many floors, it's going to take a long time. So but we're going to try it and give you that, and who knows, your travel agent might give you something like that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to add. Yes, very clever. I know, Gloria, I love Singapore. I've been there once before. It's so hot, but I'm excited. It's going to be different being, we've never been on one that's all at sea. That's the adventure cruise does not have excursions. It's just all at sea. So we're going to have a lot of time to enjoy the ship. So yeah. Yeah, sounds good. Okay, all right, I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you so much. Congratulations to Rhonda, Melissa, and Gloria. We'll be sending those out. I'm gonna give them to the hotel to ship out for me today. So we'll get those in the mail to you, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Now I gotta figure out how to end this. Sorry. Here you go.